I've read the same poem on the first day of high school for 7 years, and this is going to be my last year reading it. By nature, I'm a wanderer. I've never stayed in the same place for 4 or 5 years at the most. Whether it's changing schools, moving states, moving houses, or in the most extreme cases, moving countries, I guess you could say that wandering is just part of who I am. It's a part of my being. And I'm not really disturbed by the fact that I've moved around so much. There's actually a lot of different things that I've been able to learn and experience as somebody who's wandered and moved around for so long in their life. But through all the change, all the moving and the wandering, there seems to be this one thing that for the past 8 years has just continued to follow me around. Let's take a step back to my freshman year of high school. On my first day of high school, my English teacher, whom I adore, Mrs. McCatherine, put a poem down on our desk for us to read when we got into class. And English was my first class of the day, so this was the first thing that I ever did as a high schooler. We walk in, and on our desk is sitting a copy of The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. You know the poem, you know how it goes. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, I looked down one as far as I could, and so on and so forth. At the time, I didn't know how impactful this poem would be for me. I couldn't imagine it would hold any more significance than just being the poem that I read on the first day of class. But as I continued on from this one small moment, this poem seemed to follow me wherever I went. As I encountered change, I would often find myself reflecting back on this poem. And now every year before the start of school, I go back and I still reread this poem on the first day of school. I even use this poem as the backbone of my graduation speech when I graduated high school. As someone who continually has found themselves moving and wandering through this endless road that we know as life, this poem has taught me key lessons, not only about myself, but also about the human condition. In a life where everybody wants you to be a sheep and follow the same straight path that everybody else seems to be following, we have the autonomy to divert and to create our own path. We can push through life in ways that others may deem as countercultural. Yes, we may be met with scrutiny or unease or persecution, but diverting and creating your own path, being culturally different, is what's going to separate you. I mean, what's going to separate us from everybody around us. Hear me out. I'm not saying that going with the flow is a bad thing. I'm just saying that following the straight path just isn't the thing for me. So for one of the very last times, as Robert Frost so eloquently put it, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So to Mrs. McCatherine, you may not have known it all those years ago, but that piece of paper, that poem that you put on our desk freshman year, has followed me around and impacted me more than I could ever say. So thank you.